Alright guys, so we are at the start of the 7-mile plane crash trail in Wisconsin, and we're headed up to the Keweenaw Peninsula of Upper Michigan. And so while we're on this journey, I want to give you guys an overview slash review of the new roof rack that I just installed, the Alpha Foxtrot roof rack. So it's probably one of the most budget friendly as well as the most intuitive designed roof rack. So follow along with us on this journey and I'll give you my thoughts and impressions of this new roof rack. Hey guys, so we finally made it to Copper Harbor on the Keweenaw Peninsula on the northernmost point of Michigan. The trail itself is not really a trail actually. It's actually just a bunch of state forest roads that connect with one another and lead you all the way up here. Nothing too crazy. I stayed in two-wheel drive most of the time, but if you guys are in the Midwest, check out this trail. It's super awesome. It's called the 7-hour plane crash trail. So we're gonna talk about the roof rack now. So this is my new roof rack. It is the Alpha Foxtrot roof rack. I purchased this about a month ago, and the retail price is $849. So in terms of pricing, they are one of the more budget-friendly roof racks compared to, like Prince's and Rego and Victory 4x4 and Sherpa and all the other brands that make roof racks. So it's more budget friendly, and at the time that I got it, they actually had a 10% discount, so I did save quite a bit of money with that coupon code. So let's go a little bit closer to the roof rack and I'll talk about some of the features as to why I like this roof rack and why I chose it over the other ones. This roof rack shares a very similar design to all the other manufacturers out there. They use these extrusion bars that have T-slots in them, so if you want to mount like traction boards or storage bins, like a plain old gun case or like a Roam case, they easily go into these T-slots. However, there are two things that really set this roof rack apart. Number one is going to be this wind fairing right here. So you'll see that on the wind fairing, there's actually a level area that you can install a light bar in, which I really like. Most of the other roof racks, you'll have to install the light bar behind the wind fairing. And so this wind fairing is compatible with an LED up to 44 inches. So I really like this design. I think it's really smart that they implemented this instead of having you mount the light on the T-slots behind the wind fairing. So the next thing that's different about this roof rack is how these bars are mounted on. So if you see on the top of the roof rack, instead of having a single piece of aluminum, what Alpha Foxtrot actually does with this roof rack is they bend it over and they have these holes right on top of this bar here. So it makes it for additional mounting points. If you want to install hooks, if you want to put an awning on there, you can easily mount it onto all of these holes. Now what that means is these bars actually sit level to the roof rack. So you'll look closely and you'll see that the bars are level with the roof rack. Now there's a pro and a con to that. The pro is that it has a really sleek design. It's really flush, it's super flat, and if you mount things on top of it like a rooftop tent, you have a really flat surface to do that. The con is, unlike let's say the Prince design roof rack where there's actually a little bit of a shelf, if you're mounting cargo on top of it, you may want to have that shelf where the box will butt up against that shelf. This does not have that since everything is flat and level. So another thing that I really like about this roof rack is how they designed this back portion of the roof rack. They actually have a cutout that goes right over your shark fin antenna. So that allows this roof rack to sit really close to your 4Runner. A lot of manufacturers, they have to put a larger block in the back so that it can sit right over your shark fin, or you'll have to place the bars around your shark fin antenna so that you don't run into it. So this one, they really thought it through and they made a cutout just for that back half of it. Okay, so let's talk about install. The install procedure for this roof rack is very similar to any other roof rack on the market. The only note that I'll make for you is that on the front portion of the roof rack, they supply little rubber feet that mount right on top of your weather sealing. Now, You know, other manufacturers, they recommend you to cut your weather sealing. I did reach out to Alpha Foxtrot and they did say that do not cut your weather strip, just lay the rubber mount right on top of your weather strips. So I have some install video of this roof rack. I'm gonna go ahead and play that now. We just took off the OEM rack. Nothing too special about it. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is when you're taking out these nails or these screws from the top, you don't want to take one out completely. So you want to back the first one out a little bit, and then you can back the second one out a little bit and just kind of alternate between them. And then once they're almost completely out, you can take them both out. So you want to clean it nice with isopropyl alcohol. So for the sealant, we're not going to be using silicone. We're actually going to be using butyl tape. I've read on the forums a lot of times users have leaking roofs because of silicone. Certain silicone, I should say, has you know, it shrinks or expands for adverse weather, and then which results in leaking. Whereas butyl tape, they use this stuff on like RVs, campers, boats and stuff. It's a much better choice, well, from what they say. So I grab a little bit of butyl tape, seal the hole, and I'll also be putting it on the mounting brackets that are going to be going on this as well. So in addition to putting this on here, the mounting holes, I've also put it onto the mounting bracket. So it's going to go here, and then the roof rack is going to go on top of it. So, oh, one thing is you are going to reuse your factory screws. I really am impressed with this product. I think Alpha Foxtrot did a really good job. I will say though that two things that I wish Alpha Foxtrot would have done is the hardware that they included is all silver. I believe they're stainless steel. I really wish they would have sent out black, you know, like anodized mounting hardware, just because, you know, you spend so much money on a roof rack, you really want it to be really nice and polished, and I really wish they would have just included black or darker mounting hardware. Another thing is they don't supply any sort of instructions. So it wasn't hard by any means, but it would have been nice to see them include like an instruction manual. They do have one on their website that you can also always look at, and they are also really responsive in their social media. The lead times right now, it's quoted on their websites to be about 4 weeks. Mine actually took closer to 6 weeks. I did send an email out to them and I asked, you know, where is the roof rack, and they were really responsive, and so they emailed me right away letting me know the updates, where it was on the production schedule, and when it would be shipped out. So the production lead times aren't accurate, but I give them a pass because they were so responsive and their customer service was really top notch. They responded right away, whether it was on social media, Instagram, or it was on email, and so I give them a pass for that. So for $849, guys, the roof rack is one of the better ones that I've seen. You know, when I was really looking for a roof rack, it was between this one or the Sherpa, and the Sherpa is about 10 weeks out now, and it's over $1,000. And so I went with Alpha Foxtrot. They're not as well known as the other big manufacturers, but guys, I'm telling you, if you're looking for a roof rack, if you want one that the lead times aren't very long, if you want one that is budget friendly, if you want one that is different in design and intuitively thought out, give these guys a look, guys. I highly recommend it. I think you will like it. I think you will enjoy it as much as I have. We've taken this almost on a 600-mile trip so far, and the road noise is very minimal. I've noticed about a 1 mpg loss, so it's not bad. Road noise is not bad. So guys, give them a look and check them out. I think you'll like them as much as I have. So thank you guys. We're gonna spend the night here up in the Keweenaw Peninsula and then head home tomorrow. So thank you all for viewing this video, and I'll see you in the next one.